And as President Bola Tinubu marks the second anniversary of his administration, Nigerians reflect on a journey defined by bold promises and significant challenges. Since the swearing-in ceremony on May 29, 2023, the Tinubu's administration has pledged to revive the economy, enhance national security, and improve everyday lives through the renewed hope agenda. But today, opinions remain sharply divided as citizens differ on whether those promises are being realized. Now, our TV 360's correspondent Victoria Konde completes the story in this next report.
On May 29, 2023, President Bola Tinubu stood at Eagle Square and pledged to lead Nigeria into a new era of bold reforms, renewed hope, and restored confidence with his renewed hope agenda. Now, halfway through his first term, the question on many lips is, has that promise translated into progress for the Nigerian people? From the beginning, the administration took decisive steps. The removal of few subsidies and unification of foreign exchange rate were hailed by economists as necessary reforms for sustainable growth. Yet, these bold moves came with immediate consequences: soaring inflation and a rising cost of living sparking discomfort among many Nigerians. The reaction across the country is mixed. Some Nigerians acknowledge the administration's commitment and recognize progress. Others remain skeptical about the direction and tangible impact of governance.
It's the best we have ever seen in the history of Nigeria. We know there is hardship outside, we know. But we know that the reform that he is doing, at least in the next 8 years, we are going to be seeing the outcome of the reform. At least there is no student loan before, there is student loan now.
You never do enough. You understand? Things are hard. Especially we pensioners, we are suffering. Pensioners, we are suffering. Our pensions have been hanging. Most of us have not been paid for some months now. So we need to do something about retirees.
We are just trying and praying. Because even people working are complaining. Likewise, people that are not working. The things are so hard. Everything is expensive. It's not easy.
Experts' opinions reflect a similar divide. While praising the courage to implement difficult reforms, they criticize execution and political distractions, notably the prolonged legal battles early in the tenure that delayed full governance focus.
If I were to give the Tinubu government a scorecard after 2 years, I'd say perhaps a C plus or a B minus, because the will is there to improve the lot of Nigerians. I truly believe that they have the right mindset. But whether the prevailing circumstances, geopolitically, globally, economically, whether those will now give them the liberty to do all the things they want to do, I'm not sure about that at the moment.
Score this administration overall, I think I'll score them 40%, between 35 to 40%. That's what I will score this administration in terms of governance. But in terms of politics, if you ask me to score this particular administration, I'm sure they are very, very good at that. I'll score them 70 to 80% when it comes in terms of politics. But when it comes in terms of governance, I'm not sure this present administration can score more than 40%, even up to 40%.
Security, once showing signs of improvement, has sharply deteriorated with a resurgence of violence and instability in various parts of the country. On economic reforms, experts say the subsidy removal lacked adequate planning, intensifying the hardships faced by ordinary Nigerians.
How can a ragtag army, completely stymie a whole national army, the armed forces of the country? An ordinary insurgent group, the whole army cannot bring them to book. It doesn't seem right.
For me, the president did not think it twice, did not put in a strategic thinking pattern before the removal of first subsidy. But that has been done, It's only individuals that make mistakes and admit their mistakes. When government make mistakes, they put a voter face because nobody can question them. And that's why we have found ourselves where we have found ourselves today, because that policy contributed to the mess that we have, that has characterized the standard of living and the cost of living of every Nigerian.
Citizens continue to urge the president to prioritize curbing insecurity and to urgently address rising food prices and scarcity, especially focusing on vulnerable groups like pensioners and youths.
To let us know it's planned, like we youths, we doesn't know it's planned. And there people are like harassing him. He's not saying anything. So for we youths to come outside and even support him more better.
2 years into office, President Bola Tinubu's legacy remains a work in progress, shaped by bold decisions, growing discontent and cautious optimism. And as the nation marks another Democracy Day, the verdict from Nigerians is resounding. The promises have been made. Now is the time to deliver. Victoria Akonde, TV 260 News, Lagos.